bracing for what's next. I'm Adrienne Pedersen. Today on Up Front. Hospitals fear a post-Thanksgiving wave of coronavirus patients. Next, the hospital executive concerned about a surge on a surge. Then, the long haulers.
I had a lot of problems with memory, balance. I was so weak.
COVID patients still suffering from symptoms weeks or even months later. Plus, COVID and the economy. Are things getting any better?
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Up Front with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Thank you for joining us. It's a long holiday weekend, and medical experts around the state are bracing for what they fear will come next, a post-Thanksgiving surge in COVID-19 hospitalizations. COVID patients are filling up some hospitals. The problem is particularly acute in northern Wisconsin. Aspirus in Wausau reached capacity in recent days, and we're talking now with the hospital's president and CEO, Matt Haywood. So we really appreciate your time, especially right now when you're so busy and you're at capacity with coronavirus patients right now. Go ahead and tell me what I would see if I could walk into your hospital. What does it look like there?
Well, first, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. If you actually came to our organization and walked the halls, you would see an organization that has prepared for this. The staff are appropriately protected with PPE. They're calmly going about their day-to-day tasks. We do not have as many visitors. We have a lot more restrictions, so you will not see as many people walking the halls that are from the community. And you would see a lot more areas that are cordoned off that would be negative pressure rooms that require people to be properly protected before they could enter.
Well, I know that you're concerned about a possible post-Thanksgiving surge and that you're using a garage right now as an overflow for patients. So tell me how many coronavirus patients you have right now and what that garage is for.
Yeah, we had at the peak, which was about a week or two ago, about 130 COVID patients throughout the system, and it's declined to about 110. And the garage is for overflow with regards to more patients that might come if the surge happens to have a surge on a surge, which we think might happen after the holiday weekend, where many people are going to gather with families and loved ones. And in preparation for that, many of those people are going to come and they will come to the ED. And what we want to do is make sure we have proper locations for people to be able to come to the ED in a somewhat quarantined manner so we can ensure that we don't mix the COVID and the non-COVID patients. And so that extra space will allow us to take that volume and put people in the proper locations to ensure the safety of our patients and handle the additional flow.
Is there a chance that in the next few weeks you could have to turn people away for care?
No, we are really actually working very hard as an organization to ensure that we take care of people who have COVID and do not have COVID. We still need to, being a tertiary center for northern Wisconsin, be there for the traumas, the cardiac cases, and the strokes. And we believe that we have a joint mission for both populations. So in order to make sure that we're able to handle both, we've done a lot to make sure we have the bed capacity, we have the staff, we make sure we have the supplies and the PPE as we talked about. And what we're also doing is realizing that at a certain point, if this continues to have a surge on a surge, your biggest constraint is going to be your people, making sure they stay healthy, making sure that you have the people to take care of the patients. And so in order to prepare for that, we're making sure we take care of our staff. We have our staff make sure that they follow protocols outside of the hospital, that they have the equipment when they come into the hospital so we can keep as much of our staff healthy as possible. And then we're also using new techniques and tools and technologies to be able to take care of patients in other settings and use other resources in our system. For example, there's new antibody therapies. With those new antibody therapies, if we identify you as a COVID positive, you have a high risk of being an inpatient in the future, we can give you antibody therapy, which is an infusion therapy that can help negate the need for you to need a hospital bed. We're looking at how we can use technology in our home care division and making sure we can send people home with technology and equipment so we can monitor you and take care of you without needing a hospital bed. So we're starting to use new techniques as we're getting more and more sophisticated with this pandemic to handle patients in different ways so we can handle a surge on a surge if need be.
How stretched would you say that your staff is right now, considering, of course, some of them have to quarantine sometimes themselves?
I think all our staff throughout the state, the country, and definitely at Aspirus are getting challenged. And it's not necessarily stretched in any one day. This is something that's gone on for months, and they don't see an end over the next 3 or 4 months. And I've been honest with them that we look forward at another 3 to 4 months until we can start to see a vaccine in the spring really start to take hold for our country, or the summer. And that means we got another 3 or 4 months of this, and that is wearing on staff.
And right now, Wisconsin's one field hospital at State Fair Park is not full, but the Wisconsin Hospital Association president says that more field hospitals are needed in other locations. Do you agree with that? Do you see the need for one where you are?
I would say that if we need to be prepared, which we should as a state, for that surge on a surge that many people are concerned about with the holidays, is we probably do need to have something closer to the central part of the state to handle not just our area, but potentially Green Bay and potentially the Fox Valley. Milwaukee is a long journey for many patients and their families to have one of their loved ones go to use that field hospital. But also to make the field hospitals more valuable, we're going to need to be able to see if they can take higher acuity patients. If we do see this surge escalate even further than it has to date, we're going to need to be able to take a little higher acuity in some of those field hospitals. Now, at Aspirus, we've been very blessed. We've gotten some help from the federal government, and we've created our own mini version within Aspirus of a field hospital, so to speak, that we're set up in Medford with our DMAP team. And that's a federal organization element that helped give us some extra staff and supplies to set up a small extension within Aspirus to do something like that. And that's going to go away in mid-December.
Okay, well, we appreciate your perspective on all this. Certainly a lot of challenges. Matt Haywood with Aspirus. We'll be thinking about you in the next few weeks, and please pass along our thanks to all the healthcare workers.
I appreciate it. Stay safe and be well.
All right, you too. Well, here's another sign of how serious things are in hospitals. Hundreds of UW Health employees signed an open letter to the public begging people to take COVID-19 precautions. The letter says Wisconsin is in a bad place right now and asks people to work with them to get through the pandemic. Coming up.
The exhaustion was horrific.
COVID patients with symptoms weeks or even months later, one patient's story, and the help available to the so-called long haulers. That's next.